Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we are going to be watching a video about why your competition in the dating market is weak, right? A lot of people in today's society are sexless. A lot of people are holding on to the one girl that they've talked to, the one girlfriend that they can get, and holding on for dear life, worried, live in a state of anxiety in case they say the wrong thing to their girl and they'll leave them. There's no abundance left in the dating market. A lot of people are living scarce lives, unless you live at the top. If you're part of the 1%, you have the financial resources to have a great dating life. You have a life of abundance that women won't be part of. And you might say to yourselves, well, how do I do it? Well, how do I also live a life of luxury? How do I live a life of abundance? How do I have a great dating life? How can I get fucking laid? And the only solution that is left is for you to become a king. Okay. And what I mean by that is you have to build a kingdom because all women see themselves as queens. And by default, therefore, they would want to be with a king. Okay. So you have to present yourself as a king. You have to understand that it is your destiny to become a king. It is every man's destiny to do so. But most people do not take the opportunity. They choose not to try to build a kingdom because they see it as difficult. They see it as they're likely to fail. They'll likely embarrass themselves, and they choose not to even try at all, and therefore they settle. And in the past that was okay. A lot of people settled and then they decided to take what they could get and lived okay lives. They lived happy lives, in fact. But we are now living in an age of AI where a lot of people are going to be made unemployed. And statistically, if you're unemployed, it's harder to date because who the fuck wants to date a broke boy? A lot of women are out earning men because they are stripping on OnlyFans. They are diversity regulations in the corporate world are hiring more and more women. More and more women are more educated than men. Um, and most women would want a more educated man than themselves, a more wealthier man than themselves. So the options are you're running out of options in reality, and you have to date anyone now. You have to be someone who's important, someone who's seen as a king, someone who's seen as an expert. You have to therefore rise to the top. You have to become famous. You have to have a following, because by default, if you're just an average looking girl, you have a few thousand followers online anyway. Um, so so the dating market is skewed, and there isn't much competition to the people who are at the top because the people at the bottom are forced, are trampled down upon, are not even visible to women. So you have to become visible. You have to rise to the top. You have to build a kingdom. You have to be seen as a king, and that is what I help my clients with. I help them become kings. I help them build kingdoms. I help them become effective communicators, leaders. So when in the event when once AI is fully developed and is here, you won't get displaced. You'll be able to keep earning a living. You'll be able to build out a fan base, a following. You'll be able to be seen as somebody who is famous, who is a leader. Um, you have thousands of followers online, and you'll be somebody who is who is able to build a kingdom. And therefore, once you have a kingdom, you'll be seen as a king. And if that's the type of life that you want, if you want to live a life of luxury, if you want to have an effective dating life, if you just want to get laid, then this is truly the only path left. And if you understand what I'm talking about, you're at the right place. If not, then please log off. Don't watch the rest of this fucking video. But let's get into this video.
This is from David Goggins. It's so easy to be great because most of the world is weak. If you are even remotely a savage, you will run these people over. It's all out there for the taking right now. Dana White.
If you are remotely a savage, you'll take all these people out. So you have to become a fucking psychopath, basically. And again, this is What's left is like, only psychopaths and sociopaths and narcissists will rise to the top, unless you intervene, unless you grow the confidence to attempt to rise to the top. Right, you have to try it. You have to give it a go. Um, a lot of people are fearful to even attempt to build a kingdom, to become famous, to do something with their lives. Um, what I'm here to do is I'm here to show you that there's nothing to be afraid of. That the fear that you should be, the thing that you should be afraid of is the fact that if you don't try, how fucked you will be. Okay, you are literally going to be bent over and penetrated if you don't attempt to do anything with your life. If you're just happy staying in your fucking job, whatever it is, even if you're making 100K a year, if you're not working out what the next step is for you, how you will um transition from becoming a high earner to being seen as somebody who's famous, it's like you're going to get left behind. Okay, and you might say, well, I don't care about being left behind because I've got family, I've got children. I'm happy and content with my life. Just look down 5 years into the future and just think about, well, what about the opportunities that your children will have? Okay, um, nepotism plays a huge part in the world, how the world is run, and so therefore you need to start building alliances with influential people, so your children will at least have the best opportunities, right? The next generation of children, those children who are going to live good lives, in essence, their parents are going to be very wealthy, very very wealthy, or very famous. So that in a way that they'll be able to be part of those elite circles, be part of future decision making of the world. And if you're not willing to put in the effort for yourself or for your children, then you and your children will be left behind. If you're a young man watching this, I think you already understand how difficult your situation is going forward. A lot of people have lost hope. A lot of people have lost faith. I'm here to tell you that with minimum amount of effort, but focused effort and consistent effort, you will be able to turn your life around and become someone who is worth knowing, someone who is able to become famous, be seen as a king, and have a queue of women waiting to date you, to fuck you, to be part of your life. But the choice is yours. Do you have the balls to do it? I can show you how, I can teach you how, but the decision still lies within you.
Everyone rails against the victim mentality that seems to be sweeping certain areas of the world. I get it, you don't want your town or country or species to go to hell because everyone has forgotten how to take some discomfort or deal with challenges in life. But on another hand, this rampant fragility is your competitive advantage. The bar has never been set lower. A bit of consistency, intentionality, resilience, and a gram of talent will make you into an absolute killer.
So lately I've been having some conversations with both men and women about how the competition in the dating market has never been as weak as it is right now. And
just before we move on to what he's talking about, I mean, it's a great visual aesthetic setup that he's got, but the guy doesn't have any fucking charisma when he's speaking. He's speaking very soft. He's speaking very weak. Very monotone, very boring. I've spoken to a lot of men and women about the dating market. Blah 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 blah. Like, where's the energy? Where's the life? Where's the fight in him? Okay, it's a fucking dog eat dog world, and if you don't have the energy to, come on, get up and be fucking about it, like like who the fuck wants to fuck him? Do you get what I mean? He's got no energy to fuck, right? So a lot of things that I work with my clients with is I help people who like this guy, speak a bit monotone, a bit more reserved, who are afraid to be an extrovert, to unleash their charisma, their effective communication style. And not everyone speaks like me, right? Like, I speak a bit. I'm naturally very loud. I'm naturally very aggressive in the way I speak. But that's just my personality. And if I try to speak like that guy, it'll be very inauthentic. Um, but you don't have to just be talking like this. Like, at least loosen up a little bit. Like, relaxed. That the guy is not relaxed at all. So if you're watching this and thinking, you might be watching and asking, how do I become a king? Okay. And what I advocate for is you start making content, build a following online, and become the leader of your following, lead them to a better, more prosperous world. So they don't get left behind as well. So as you help yourself build your kingdom, you also teach others how to live more prosperous lives as well. And then we all help each other up. We form friendships, we form communities. Because if you're unwilling to do that, if you aren't willing to put yourself out there, you're going to get left behind. And what the guy said at the start, like, if you're willing to put in a little bit more effort, put a little bit more effort in than this guy in your videos, and because you are able to communicate more charismatically, right? And if you say to me you're an introvert, I'll never be able to. I'm an introvert, right? I'm an introvert when I'm by myself, and I'm an extrovert when I fucking open my mouth, right? Because introversion is inside. Like, in my head, I'm an introvert because it's inside of me, right? But externally, right, it's like to communicate to the world, you have to be an extrovert. Okay. And that doesn't mean you have to be like loud and aggressive as me. You don't have to be flamboyant or be or whatever. You just need to be able to communicate very clearly what is going on inside your head. Because if you can't share those ideas, people will never understand who you are. And then if you can't do that, then forever you just be left in your room fucking crying, being like, oh, the world doesn't understand me. Women don't want to date me. To go on a date, you have to communicate, and therefore communication is the most important skill that you can learn. And this guy, he's doing well. Yeah, he's trying, but if he was a bit more of a effective communicator, his videos would be even better.
I've seen discussions online about this from time to time, and within those discussions, you'll sometimes see comments about how women have a ton of options and the competition's just brutal out here, and it's nearly impossible to stand out as a guy in a woman's sea of options. But in my opinion, this couldn't really be further from the truth, and I actually think that the competition is not only the weakest it's ever been, but it's in a continuous decline due to how things are trending in society overall. And when I say due to how things are trending in society, I'm talking about all the luxuries and the comforts available to us that make declining as a man easier than ever. So for example,
he's speaking, he's saying that it's easier than ever because your competition's so weak, and it's true. But why is the competition so weak? It's because most people are locked in onto social media. We all live on Earth. We all live in our individual countries, but life is being played out more and more online. And most people don't have a presence online. They don't have a social media following. They don't have, they're not sharing their ideas and their voice online. So therefore they get left behind because women. Women date not on dating apps anymore. They date on Instagram. Okay. And if you don't have an Instagram, if you don't have a TikTok or YouTube channel where you can share your communication, your ideas, women aren't going to be able to experience you before they meet you. So, if you become a king, a lot of the time, women already know who you are, right? They know what you're about, and they've already made up their mind in their head that they want to date you. Okay. And then the only thing is for you to meet, and then for you to decide that if you're interested in this woman, right? Because a lot of the time, a lot of men, go on a date, and they're trying to convince the woman, oh, look, this is why you should date me, because I'm interesting, I'm this, I'm that, and then the woman's like, you're literally selling yourself to her, and there's nothing really left for her to daydream about. Okay. Whereas if you are somebody who is making content, who is a charismatic conversationalist, a charismatic leader, somebody who is able to lead, somebody who is building their kingdom and is seen as a king, then women will naturally imagine being with you already. Okay. And then before you ever have a first date, before you ever meet a woman, if she's already met you in her mind online, if she's watched your content, then she'll naturally will want to date you, because she's already accepted the fact that, oh, this guy's interesting, this guy's funny, oh, this guy oh, it's cute when he does this. Oh, it's very sexy when he does that. You know, she's already sold on the idea of dating you. So and therefore you don't have to do much. So becoming an effective communicator in today's age, making content online is of the most utmost importance. Okay, and once you do that, you'll figure out very quickly that you'll be able to build a large following on social media. You'll be able to make a lot of money, right? You'll be building your kingdom. You'll be seen as a king, and once you are seen as a king, you'll realize that all the business opportunities will start flowing your way. All the social opportunities, you'll be invited to parties, exclusive parties. You'll be people would want to be your friend. People will seek you out for your advice, and then you also have the best dating life because women will be queuing up to date you, to be part of your life, to be a queen next to you because I see you as a king. And you also realize how easy it is to date, how women treat you differently. um and like a lot of people complain about, oh, like, feminism has ruined the dating market. Is when once you're seen as a king, there is no feminism anymore. Do you get what I mean? It's that women will treat you with the utmost respect because they see how valuable you are. um so it is important that you work on your communication style, that you work on your ability to amass an audience, how to captivate an audience. So it is important for you to be seen as a king, and once you do that, you'll experience the most blissful dating life that you've ever imagined.
Well, if you work a remote job from home, you could probably find a way to never leave your house if you wanted to. In the
And again, he hit the nail on the head there. People aren't leaving their fucking house. So people aren't meeting people at the bar anymore. People are not meeting people at the park anymore because people never leave their house, right? They're all locked in, and it's going to get worse and worse. Soon you'll be plugged into the metaverse, and then you'll just be running around online, and you'll never meet a woman in real life. You might chat to a few women in the metaverse, unless they're all AI bots. Who the fuck knows? Um, but a lot of people are going to remain lonely. They'll never form real friendships, and friendship is one of the most important thing to do, which is why I'm building this network of royals. um, I'm looking for 100 people who understand what I'm talking about, who want to be part of what I'm talking about, who want to build a kingdom alongside me, who want to rule instead of the evil people, the evil ruling class that we have right now, and lead humanity to a better and more prosperous tomorrow. If you want to be part of that movement, if you want to be part of the 100 kings that I'm looking for, then reach out to me, work with me, and together we can form a alliance, a coalition of kings. And then we'll throw the biggest and best parties where we'll invite the hottest women in the world, and then you know they'll all already know who you are because they're watching your content. And then literally you have women walking up to you and be like, oh, hey, do you mind if you have a drink with me? I just want to chat to you. I really like that video you done on so and so subject. Like, it's very easy, it's very natural. There'll be no persuading or convincing someone. um you know she'll be working so hard to impress you that you literally just have to sit back, relax, and just listen and nod. And then if you want to engage it, you might get bored by her, and then there might be someone else who wants to chat to you. There'll literally be a queue of women. Like it'll be the easiest thing. It'll be, you'll never experience something like that in your whole life. So it is in your interest, in your future children's interest, that you become a king and start building your kingdom.
United States, you could have most things you need, just Amazon Prime to your doorstep and Uber Eats every meal if you wanted to. You could literally just be in the house 24 hours a day, watch Netflix, doom scroll social media, and turn into a pile of goo if you really wanted to. There's enough comfort and luxury to where you can avoid doing the things that take effort, and it technically won't immediately impact your survival as a human being. It's not like you're gonna die next week because of it, but it will affect your health and your mental health over time. But it's not like you're going to starve to death and you're in immediate danger. So a lot of the harmful factors of the typical Western lifestyle get ignored.
I mean, he's talking about starving to death. Very soon AI will displace most of humanity in terms of tasks and jobs. and then you won't be earning a living anymore. So there is a potential for a lot of people to starve. Okay, once people money dries up, once they won't be able to afford to pay the rent anymore, to pay for food anymore, a lot of people will starve, and a lot of people in this country are already starving. Even first world countries such as the US and the UK, there are a certain amount of people within the population who live below the poverty line, right? And thing for the poor is getting worse and worse. Okay, it's not going to get easier. You need to make sure that you're on the right side of the poverty line, that you are one of the rich people, one of the elites. And because of out of the kindness of your heart, because you want to help people, you then need to make sure that the people who follow you and that you are part of your kingdom are taken care of, are looked after. Okay. And you can do it in several different ways. You can start um, helping form companies that they can work in and earn a living. But you're going to have to come up with that, and that's what we work together within our network on how to help people in the tough dystopian future that is ahead.
Until things get really bad. And then guys find themselves in such a bad spot that they don't know how to get out of it. It's interesting to think about it in another way too. Like if you think about it, we have never had more access to information than we do right now, yet the average guy is arguably in a worse position than he's ever been in.
And that shows that information means fuck all. Okay, information means shit, because what makes this life work, what humans have figured out throughout ages, is the thing that propels us forward, is by taking action, by taking steps into unknown territory and figuring out, as we're doing the thing, how to achieve our goal. Okay. And you know I'm telling you that I can show you a way to become a king. I'm telling you I can show you a way to become famous. And you'll be like, oh, I don't know how I'll do that. It sounds like a lot of work. I'm unsure. I need to educate myself more and have more information. Well, in essence, it's the lack of information that is going to drive you forward, because you need to figure out, by trying and attempting to come up with a solution and letting it play out in the real world, get feedback and then correct as you go along. Because if you're not willing to do that, if you're always just waiting and planning, nothing will ever get done. You will be left behind. You will not experience progress, because in your head you're always ruminating, thinking of different scenarios, and potentially most people, what they do in their head is like they come up with reasons why something will not work. Okay. A lot of people watching this be like, oh, I'm an introvert, I can't make this work. It's like, nah, we have to turn you into an extrovert. We have to better your communication style. We have to make you more charismatic. And you might be like, oh, that's, I don't know what the charismatic version of me looks like. What I'm very good at is I'm good at honing in and identifying the things that make your personality unique, the interesting things about your personality. And you might be like, oh, there's nothing interesting about me. It's like, well, that's why I'm here. That's what I help my clients with. And together we help form you into a charismatic leader who becomes an expert in whatever thing it is that you're passionate about. And we turn your passion into a thriving business, and we unleash you into the world, to start building your kingdom, to become a king. And once you are a king, once you're seen as the person at the top, women will be fighting amongst themselves to be part of your life, to be the woman next to you.
And this has nothing to do with the system or the matrix or the government or women or anything else. For a lot of guys, this just comes down to a lack of self-agency and accountability, and also a lack of ambitious drive.
And what a lot of people like this guy do is that they just blame, oh, you need to take more responsibility. It's your own fault for not doing it. Well, it's like this is the system that companies have formed, right? And more and more newer technologies are coming, and they're going to displace more and more of humanity. And then the next excuse will be, is like, well, you knew AI was coming, but you didn't take the time out to learn it. Well, you're busy with schoolwork, right? Like literally, like you had to do schoolwork, you had to, right, and then the self-improvement devices go to the gym. So now you have to go to the gym. Now you have to become a fucking PhD. You have to become a coder, and you have to do your schoolwork, and you have to do all this. It's like there's so much to do. There's so much to do. Technology is ever changing, right? And soon it'll be so far ahead of us that you'll never be able to keep up with it. Okay, so a lot of these people be like, "Well, it's your own fault for not fucking keeping up." No. That is not it. What you need to realize is the game is changing. Okay, that to keep up with this new game, you have to build your own kingdom. You have to be a royal. You have to be a top. Right? You weren't lucky enough to be born into a wealthy family, into a well-connected family, into a rich family, into a royal family. Okay, you didn't have those advantages, but you have to become the person who goes from right? A person who's living amongst the poor, rise to the top, and form your own kingdom. You have to have that King Arthur story. It's your moment to draw the sword out of the stone, and form a round table with me. Join my round table, and together we will build kingdoms. We will conquer. We will make sure that you reach the top. Okay, and then you can't have people like this blame you. It's like, you know, it doesn't take self-improvement to date women. What it takes is to be recognized as somebody who is a leader, somebody who is an effective communicator, okay, somebody who is talented. And if you want any of those things, if you want to have a dating life, if you want to be seen as somebody who is competent, who is an effective leader, an effective communicator, you have to decide to become a king. You have to build your kingdom. And that is why I help you with. If you want to be part of my community, if you want to be part of my journey alongside me, your journey and my journey will be intertwined as we rise to the top. Then go to royalinstinct.com, reach out to me, and we can discuss how to best move your life forward.
So to give you an example of what I mean here, according to the Department of Health in the US, 43% of men are not only overweight, but they're obese.
I mean, Patrice O'Neill was a fat fuck, right? He's obese. He died because of his obesity. Okay, that didn't stop him from getting women, right? Because it's not how you look, right? Because women don't care about what you look like. What they care, right, is who you are. It is how is your brain? Is it a funny brain? Right? Funny brains turn into comedians. Okay, are you a analytical brain? An analytical brain, right, does well in finance. Are you a strong brain? Right, a strong brain, a strong mind, is good at lifting weights. It's you need to use your faculties, your brain, your mind, and create something in the world. And nothing is greater than creating a kingdom. Okay, if you can use your mind, if you can use your voice to communicate, if you can use your imagination to build a kingdom and protect your citizens, okay, rewards will naturally go to you because you had the audacity, you had the fight, you had the fearfulness to go into something that you couldn't see, right? You went into the dark forest, you came across an evil dragon, and you drew your sword, no matter how afraid you were, and killed the proverbial dragon. Okay, and you returned back to the village. You returned back peaceful times, and that is what the world is waiting for. This is the moment in the film where you decide that, do you know what? I've had enough of living a shit life. I want to live a good life. I want to fulfill my destiny. Okay, and it's every human's destiny to become a king. It's just some people never make it. The majority of people don't make it. But I am building a network of kings, and together we will help each other, support each other, form friendships and alliances, rise to the top, and dethrone the current system, the current elites in the world, and make better decisions for the future of humanity. And naturally, like, you'll have the best dating life. There'll be no competition because it will just be us, right? And we'll share the spoils of war. We'll date models and the most beautiful women in the world, but the choice is down to you.
And there's also a projection that the obesity rate will surpass 50% by 2030, and 1 in 4 people will not only be obese, but severely obese. What's insane about this is that if you consider how much fitness and nutrition information is available online and on this.
Just remember Justin Bieber, when he started his career, was like, what, 12 years old, right? And he had women lining up to date him at 12 years old. And he looked like a 12-year-old girl, not a 12-year-old man, not a 12-year-old boy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so it doesn't matter what you look like. It matters who you are and the substance that you can deliver.
This platform alone, the resources are literally all around us. Yet one in every.
Like this guy's in great shape, but he sounds like a boring fuck. Do you get what I mean? He sounds very boring. That there's not much substance. It's like, oh, great, you're a physical great condition, but it's like, would a woman find him interesting on a date? I mean, he dresses like a 50-year-old boy.
2 guys in the United States is obese. Now, if you think about this on a larger scale and some of the implications that it has for men in general, and you extrapolate that to other areas, you can start to realize that even basic self-care separates you from a large portion of men.
Okay, that's enough of this guy. Look, he said it himself. The bar's very low. The competition is weak, and he is a weakling amongst the competition. Yet he's able to win because he put 1% of extra effort in and just switched the fucking camera on and started speaking into a microphone. Okay. A lot of you are afraid to do that. A lot of you aren't willing to take that chance. And I understand that it is something out of your comfort zone. But if you are willing to go beyond your comfort zone, the rewards are beautiful women will be lining up to date you, to be with you. Money opportunities will be coming out of your ass. You'll be filthy rich. You'll live a life of luxury, and you'll live a life of abundance and find true happiness. And you'll form great friendships because you'll be part of a network of kings. Kings like myself will recognize you and would want to be your friends because you would naturally just want to be friends with fucking kings. Okay. If that sounds like something that is of interest to you, if that sounds like something that you would want to be part of, then reach out to me and we can speak, make sure you fulfill your potential as a king. If not, for everyone else, take care and have a good